Howdy everybody, Johnny Super here. Going to be doing a quick review of the Brocock Sniper XR. I got an opportunity to give this thing a good once over and a review. Start at the back and work my way forward. So first off, we've got an adjustable adjustable butt pad, adjustable cheek piece, gray laminated stock. Two-stage adjustable trigger, adjustable for first stage length of pull, second stage break, and then this shoe has got a little Allen on it so that you could raise it up or cant it depending on if you're a righty or a lefty and you want it to, face your finger better. Picatinny rail built in. I did not need to add a riser. It's kind of high as it is, and as a matter of fact, I had to bring the cheek piece up a little bit in order to get a good eye relief. This is a 30 foot-pound of energy air gun. It loves 18.1 grain air arms, or JSBs. Shoots them 11 shots in a magazine. It'll put all 11 shots into, at about 40 yards, it'll put it into a dime. At 50 yards, it'll keep them in a nickel. And then once you get out past, 50 yards, the wind is starting to push you around a little bit. 18 grain doesn't have a lot of carry power beyond that. From an accuracy standpoint, this thing is just absolutely spot on, reliable. It's wonderful. You could use it for air silhouette. Just turn the transfer port down a little bit so you don't start smashing those targets up too badly. It has a Picatinny rail on the front for a bipod. A couple of things that I don't like about this, and there aren't too many of them, okay? But the first one is that this magazine right here, it holds 11 rounds in 22 caliber, which is what this is set up as. But the distributors are getting $110 for this little nothing magazine. Yeah, it's CNC aluminum. There's no plastic on it. It's reliable. It works, okay? But $110 for a little nothing magazine like this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. This particular gun is set up for about 30 foot-pounds of energy, which is taking those 18.1 grains and throwing them down range at a moderate 865 feet a second. Very reliable. The Huma regulator does exactly what it's supposed to. A couple of things that I don't like about it. The first one is the cost of the magazine, and the second is that you'll see this gauge right here goes into the red when the gun is full. It's 250 bar is what this particular Sniper XR you could fill it up to 250 bar. But most air guns, you go to the green, you get to the beginning of the red, that's where you stop. Brocock cheaped out on this thing, and they shouldn't have. And it goes all the way to the end of the red. So you're actually going into the red all the way to the end of the red to get 250 bar, which to me is very counterintuitive. Every other air gun that I've shot or reviewed, you stop at the red. That's why they color it red. You don't go into the red. Red is bad. In this particular gun, Brocock cheaped out, and they ended up just setting it up using the same gauge that they would use on the lower powered guns, I guess the ones they sell in the United Kingdom, and they use the same gauge on it instead of just putting on a better gauge. Plus, take a look at the way these gauges are set up. The Huma regulator is upside down, and this one's sideways. Like, why wouldn't they have just kept tightening these things to the point where they could actually be readable by the shooter? Again, just silly quality stuff that they could have done better on this particular gun. So the fact that the gauge wants you to go into the red, I don't like that. The fact that the magazines are as expensive as they are, I don't like that at all. Those are really the only two things I can say bad about this. Everything else about it is it's light, it's accurate, it's reliable, it's built well. It's a wonderful, wonderful air rifle. If you're looking for a 30 foot-pound of energy gun, this one gets 55 full power shots at 865 feet a second for those 18.1 grain JSBs. 55 shots is, again, great capacity on this thing. Good to go out if you wanted to do a little hunting with it or some field target work. You'd probably have to turn it down, turn the transfer port down a little bit. But from an accuracy standpoint, it's got everything that you need in order to get that done. Just don't. I shot an indoor silhouette match with it, And the silhouettes were made of pot metal. They weren't made of good steel. They're pot metal. And when I hit the pig, it just shattered into about 8 different pieces. Match director wasn't too happy with me. But from an expectation standpoint, as a reviewer, I love this rifle. Absolutely love it. I wish the magazines were, you get me $50 for this, okay? $40 for this, okay? Much more reasonable. The gauges are $10 each, for crying out loud. Put one on here that actually, has the red where you get to 250 bar and then you stop right there. Tighten them up to the point where they're actually readable by the shooter and not upside down like these are set right here. A couple small things like that, and the rifle would be perfect. Other than that, it's spot on. It's worth getting. If you were thinking about this Brocock BRK Sniper XR, I highly recommend it.